Hello again, guys. This is Tim from V7 Software Development. In our last tutorial, we learned how to create an employee, and in this video, we're going to learn how to create a customer, billing address, and some job addresses. So let's get started. We are on the main customer screen. Notice the tab, Customers. This is your default screen whenever you open the program. Now to create a new customer, we're going to go down to the Add New Record icon, which is a little green button right here. Click that, and your new customer box will pop up. You'll have various drop-down lists to make selections from. The first one is CSR. That's Customer Service Representative. And if we look at the drop-down list, we'll see the employees that we created in the previous video. If you remember, Smith was an all-access employee. We designated them as owner, so we're going to select that. Next two fields are optional, credit status and referral. Pretty self-explanatory. Normal, billable, net 30, net 90, cash only. Select the appropriate credit status. Next one is referral. This is if you'd like to keep records of where your customers are coming from. Newspaper ad, television, radio, friend referral, coupon, phone book, etc. All different kinds you can choose from here. We're just going to choose phone book and click continue. Okay, let's review what we've done here. We've entered first name, last name, billing address. We did not enter a company name because this is a residential address. City, state, zip, phone number. And you have boxes for mobile number, fax number, a secondary phone number, as well as extensions. And down here you can enter an email or a website if it is a commercial customer. Now down at the very bottom here we have the customer summary information, customer ID, the date it was created, the original CSR, who took the call, their credit status, their referral, and lastly we have a feature called Flag and Lock. Now this is for customers that you do not wish to service, who may owe money, who may be deadbeat customers, or just for whatever reason you do not want to service them again. In that case, you would tick this box, and from this point on, that customer will pop up with a message to the dispatcher and will not allow the dispatcher to set a service call for that customer. So we'll untick that for right now. And moving to the right-hand side, this first grid, this is the job address grid. And what this does, it allows multiple job addresses for one customer. Say this customer owns 3 rental properties. Each of those 3 addresses would go over here in the grid. Now to enter a job address into the grid, click the Add New Record. It's the little blue folder. The Add New Location will pop up, and by default, it will have all of the data from the billing address already copied into it. Most cases with residential customers, this will stay the same. So all you need to do is select commercial or residential. Now there's a box for notes here. Any specific notes or comments you'd like to make on this particular job address. But once you're done here, click Save and Close, and there we have the job address. Now let's add another job address for this customer. Click the little blue folder. We'll go down here and enter a new address. And we'll click Residential. When we're all done entering the job address, we will save and close. And we see that address appear in the grid. Palmer Street, along with our original address of Walnut Avenue. So Walnut Avenue remains our billing address, but it's also a job address. Palmer Street is a job address only. Now you can add an unlimited number into this grid. Moving on down to the lower grid, This is a summary of all the service orders for the selected job address. Now we don't have any service orders entered yet, so this grid is blank. If we did have service orders for, say, Walnut Avenue, they would be listed here. We could double click on one of them and it would take us right to that service order. Same for Palmer Street. Select Palmer Street. It will show you all of the service orders for that job address. Click one of them, it'll take you right to that service order. Now we'll talk more about this later after we create some service orders. Now let's go over some features of these grids. You can group and sort these grids however you like. By selecting the address header, you can sort them A to Z or Z to A alphabetically. Either way. Z to A to Z. You can do the same with any column in here. State, zip, city. Or you can scroll through them using this navigation bar right here. Go to the first, go to the last, delete, or view. When you see the little monocular icon, you can click that and view the record. Alternatively, you can just double click the record to view it. Either way, same result. All right, let's take a look at some of the other features on the customer screen. Going over here to the top left, we have a calendar. Now this calendar will come into play later on in the service orders, proposals, and agreement screens, as well as other areas throughout the program. But right now, we're going to talk about it in relation to the to-do list. Now your to-do list is going to show you service orders, proposals, agreements expiring, vehicle maintenance coming due, and employee birthdays. And now this is tied in with the calendar. You will click on a certain date, any selected date you wish, and it will show you the service orders for that day, as well as proposals, agreements, and so forth. Right now we haven't entered any, so they're all 0. Whatever date we click, 0. But that is the to-do list, and it will remind you of these items. Now on this customer screen we have two areas with menus. We have this area on the left hand side of the screen, and we have the file menu at the top of the screen. Let's look at this one on the side first. First item is schedule. Now we'll have a separate video on using the schedule, but this is how you access it. As I said, we'll have a separate video on this and we won't get into this right now. So I'm going to close that, go back down. Timeline, that's also related to the schedule. Again, we'll have a separate video on that. Search ID. Each customer has a customer ID, which you can see right here in the summary box. This customer is 5. To search on customer ID, just enter the ID, click OK, and it'll bring up that customer. Time clock, again, that'll be on another video. Outlook. If you have Outlook 2007 or newer installed on your system, this program will interface with it. This next item is contacts. Now this can be used in two ways. This will interface with your Outlook contacts, or you can use the built-in contact system. Next we have preferences. Click on that and the preference screen will open. We have many tabs up here with different areas of the program you can customize. We'll get into that in a future video. So we'll close that right now. Tooltips. That basically just turns on your tooltips. If they're turned on, you can hover over any area in the program and it'll tell you what its purpose is and give you a little explanation. For instance, view displays the selected service orders details. Add new creates a new customer. That's very handy when you're first learning the program. We're going to turn it off right now. Next is the grid. This is the customer's grid. grid will show you all the customers in your database. You can sort, you can group, you can browse. Right now we only have the one customer in the database. We can resize. Summary data. If you'll remember, this is our summary data. Click on that, and this is where we can enter this summary data. We can enter and edit. Creation date, CSR, credit status. This can all be edited if necessary. And down at the very bottom we have purchase orders. Again, another video will explain the purchase order screen, so we'll close that right now. Now up above here we've got another menu. Many of the items we've seen down here are repeated up here. This is actually the full menu. This has a lot of items that are not shown down here. So if you can't find something you need down here, check the top. File, Edit, View, Options, Tools, Network, Reports, Charts, User's Manual. There is a complete user's manual right there, and it can be printed out if you like. And the help screen. You can contact us, you can check for updates, you can set the program to automatically update. You can upgrade to a pro version, and you can see version information right there. So that'll wrap up tutorial number 2, the customer screen. Next time we'll be looking at service orders. Thanks again, guys. See you in video number 3.